Whenever you're working on a project, especially a paper, I think it's always wise to go to the rubric and find out exactly what you need to do to get the best grade and what needs to be in there. So for 4, I need an effective attention getter, clear thesis statement, preview main points, which included the 4 components of poetry evaluation. The introduction provides the reader with sufficient background information on the topic and explains clearly how the information is connected to the thesis statement. So when I go back to my paper, I'm going to make sure that I get the alignment on the left side after my title, and I'm going to hit tab once to indent my paragraph, and then I'm going to come up with an attention getter. So, excuse me, I'm going to use a question which I feel like a lot of students use, which is totally fine. Just make sure whatever question you use, if that's what you pick, it's not something someone can answer with a yes or no, because if your audience answers a no, then they won't want to continue to read your paper, and that's not effective. So I'm going to say, what makes a poem good or bad? Maybe, yeah, something to connect it to my thesis statement and the main points. The experts agree there are 4 components, can't type, sorry, to use to evaluate a poem. They are, and then if I go back to my rubric, I am making sure I've got my effective attention getter, I'm getting my preview main points, and it includes the 4 components. So I have inventiveness, form and arrangement, and you don't put a comma and list them separately because they're combined into one category. Sound techniques, and what we had just yesterday, universality. So now I've got the first couple parts covered, but I also need to make sure that I have a clear thesis statement and any background information I need to clearly explain how the information connects to the thesis statement. And if you don't remember, I said this before, but with a poetry analysis, you are evaluating, telling whether poetry is good or bad, so it's your own opinion, you're just backing it up with things. So because it's your own opinion, you can use words like I and things like that. So I'm going to say, I'm going to use these 4 components to evaluate 5 distinct poems. And I'm not going to list them here because I'm going to have them later on in my paper, but you could list them here if you wanted to. So what makes a poem good or bad? Just rereading it. The experts, oops, I forgot the word, agree, instead of are here. There are 4 components to use to evaluate a poem. They are inventiveness, form and arrangement, sound techniques, and universality. I'm going to use these 4 components to evaluate 5, I don't know, I don't really like the word distinct, but I'm going to leave it there for now. So I've got the components that I need for my first paragraph, so I'm going to end it there.